I don't know where to start with Tebas' statement, in all honesty. I mean, if you want to talk about La Liga fighting racism for years and you want to provide evidence of that, ask Samuel Eto'o, ask Dani Alves, ask Vinicius Junior what has happened in the last year that maybe points to that, as opposed to just telling everybody that you're fighting racism and you've been doing so for years. Tell everybody what you've been doing. Show us some kind of evidence of that. But with no evidence, certainly within the stadiums, certainly especially as far as Vinicius Junior is concerned, I'm not sure how you, as the head of a league, I'm not sure how you, as any right-thinking adult human being, sits down and pens that as a response to Vinicius Junior in a moment where quite clearly, and there is evidence, yet again, of the racist abuse that he is facing, how you write that as a response. And now, once again, the game will move on. We'll talk about something else over the next couple of weeks. This will be forgotten. The league will do nothing about it until somebody goes and abuses another black player in the league again, and Tebas will probably just regurgitate that same old rhetoric. It's not convincing to anybody who's paying any attention. It's not convincing to any of the black players in the league. Tebas has to do better. I'm not sure how, but quite clearly he is not inclined to do so himself.
This is Tebas who quite happily pokes his nose in other leagues' financial affairs and voices his dismay at business models of leagues and clubs and whatnot. He's quite happy to get involved in that, even when it's not in his jurisdiction. And yet, the one thing that is a major problem under his nose, under his jurisdiction, he chooses to pretty much ignore.
Yeah.
So he's quite happy to fight a lot of battles, but he doesn't seem to want to pick a fight in this battle, that's for sure.
Ali, the sad thing was there was almost an inevitability about it when the referee made Vinicius Junior leave the pitch as a substitute at the furthest point when he had to walk in front of those fans. And we see in these videos, these isn't a handful of fans. It is hundreds of supporters who are chanting racial abuse at Vinicius Junior. The league has to step up, doesn't it? Has to do something.
I thought we already had this conversation then following the game against Atletico Madrid, where you could hear in the stadium, a good majority of the stadium really, you could hear them chanting mono, 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 which if you don't know, it's monkey, monkey, monkey. They were already doing this to Vinicius Junior against Atletico Madrid. And to the point that Shaka was making, that time just goes by and nothing really happens. Well, there were supposed to be fans that were going to be persecuted, right? And then early in December, a Spanish prosecutor comes out and says, no, we cannot treat this as a crime because it only happened for a few seconds. And look, it was in the middle of a maximum rivalry. It was a heated moment. So if it is for a short period of time and it is within the boundaries of a rivalry, then yeah, sure, you can be a racist. This is the message coming from a prosecutor, from the guy from a person who represents the law in Spain. So yes, we are right to focus on Tebas, but this is a society issue. If a person who represents the laws, the legal system in Spain is telling you that, look, if you're a racist for a few seconds, and if it is within the boundaries of a rivalry, it's okay, go ahead and do it. It tells you everything that you need to know as to how significant and how big of a problem this is. It's not a few people, it's not just a couple of guys in the corner. No, it's something that is well within entrenched the fan bases, and until it is addressed and until it becomes zero tolerance, it will continue to happen.
What do you do, Shay?
Easy solution is close the stand. Close the stand. If you want to get deeper into it, for every paying patron coming into that stand, donate that money to anti-racist education within that town, within that city, however you want to split it up. There's a million ways that the league can go about addressing these issues. As I say, you want to kind of simple, nobody asks any questions approach, just close the stand. That's your suspension. And you say to everybody in the league, you found guilty, we have evidence of racial abuse. The era of the silent majority is long past us. If you aren't speaking out against it, then you're guilty by association. Close the entire stand. If you weren't chanting and you're affected, well then you also need to do better. Again, you want to get a little bit more complex, you can start about enacting anti-racism education in schools, in high schools, in workplaces, around your fan base, with fan groups, however you want to do it. But just let it be meaningful. Let it be visible so that when black players suffer this kind of abuse, they feel that the league is supporting them, that is hearing their pleas, and something, even if it's a long-term proposal, something is being done.
Well, thank you very much for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming, premium content, and let's not forget as well, ESPN FC 7 days a week. Subscribe to ESPN+.